So, hey guys, Chauzu here. It's been a while since I did a face cam, but I thought I'd do it for a change. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I want to talk a bit about the interviews done with Yoshi as well as the letter from Bandai. So both Roger Space and Totsuki did an interview with Yoshi, the producer of OPTC, and at the same time Bandai sent out a letter addressing the most common feedback from Global. And I won't be talking much about the Roger Space interview. It was mostly fluff, which isn't very surprising. But the Totsuki interview had a lot of meat, as well as the letter. And I personally say that I didn't take much positive away from the letter and the interview. To summarize, basically there's going to be no changes in the short term to the game, and they stated why in the letter and interview. But basically the grand plan of Yoshi is to add yet another new content. If we are to guess, it should be sometime before anniversary by the sound of it. It's in the pipeline, but doesn't sound like it's coming very soon. So basically it's either coming before New Year or anniversary, but it sounds like it's not in a few months soon, but rather before anniversary soon, is my take on it. And it sounds like this new content will be geared both towards casuals of the game and the more adept at the game, the more hardcore, such as myself and others. And I'm a bit split on this. Like, I feel like most of the game is catered towards casuals and such, and we're getting less content for us who love to team build, love to play the game, view this as a puzzle game. Subconscious made a great video yesterday as well talking about this subject, so I won't go into too much what he talked about, but I agreed with most things he said. But yeah, basically my take on that is that it will be like a bit of a Grand Voyage situation. Like, I know Grand Voyage gets a lot of criticism, but I personally like it a lot. My main issue is that we get too few. But when we get one, it's like Christmas, at least for myself. And what Grand Voyage does great is the range of difficulties. Like, everybody can clear level 1, probably level 2, depends. Some might require specific units. But then level 5 is like the hardcore. My biggest issue with Grand Voyage personally is that level 4 is basically useless. They should really design it so most people can clear up to level 4, while level 5 requires specific units, investments, box, stuff like that. But we're not going to talk too much about Grand Voyage. But I guess the new content is the same. It's pretty accessible at a glance, everybody can play, but there might be missions, restrictions, something that lets you express yourself in team building, basically. Play around, use your units and stuff like that, and get rewarded for it. That's my hope, at least. We'll see. It's not like we got any much information on the subject. I will say that the CMM Janneke talked a bit in the Discord as well, and she mentioned that she has expressed the immediate feedback from the community, which is that we're unhappy that the changes aren't in the short term, and to possibly accommodate us for the short term as well. Because one of the news, which I want to talk a bit more about, was about Arena. And basically Yoshi said that Arena is too much of a grind, and they want to move away from that. And personally, I think that's total BS. Like, we have the elephant in the room, of course, which is treasure map, which wasn't addressed in the letter. Janneke said that she thought that was a mistake. But in the interview, Totsuki asks Yoshi about this, and basically Yoshi says that treasure map also has some of these grind issues that he thinks other modes has, but they're in the early stages of evaluating that. So basically it sounds like nothing will happen with treasure map for a long time. But it just feels such of a handful to accuse Arena of being too much of a grind, when we have all the other modes which are even more of a repetitive grind, but nothing are done about them. It's just Arena, which has been nerfed so you don't have to do too many runs, that mode gets accused being too grindy, so we're going to do it less. So basically I don't buy that. It's just an excuse. They just don't want to do arena anymore because of whatever. They don't feel like it entices people to spend as much as other modes, is what I presume. That seems to be the agenda of a lot of decisions. But yeah, I'll say what I've said many times, and it seems like Bandai are too focused on pulling for this specific content and removing content that also made people pull. But stuff like Forest, Garb Challenge, Arena, all of these stuff that it doesn't require just a new badge. They instead encourage people to build a box. And I feel like that element of the game is getting less and less of a big deal. Like, I'd say a box still matters, of course, but not as much anymore when we knew what kind of content comes, we know basically what legends can be expected to be good in this content. So having a good box with a lot of different units, support, expanded units, stuff like that, doesn't matter as much today as maybe a year or two ago. And I can imagine for most people that makes pulling seem less relevant when you pull for one event and then you don't expect that unit to see much else use. Instead of pulling it and you know that, okay, in 2 months we'll probably get a new Garb Challenge, it will be harder, I might want this new strong legend or something. So I just feel sad that they can't realize that basic thing of the game. Like, you do need different kind of content, and you also do need some more difficult content. Like the last Forest, for example, Kid Forest, released together with V2 Snake Man. And if you remember, V2 Snake Man on release was regarded as the best legend for some time. And personally, I never bought into that. I didn't agree with that. But the Kid Forest really made V2 Snake Man shine. It was basically made for him. And many people could only beat it thanks to him. So I'm sure that the Kid Forest actually helped elevate the view of Snake Man. And imagine if they did something similar with all of the other legends released recently. Like, they could have made a content perfect for the Red Luffy or the Red Shanks, stuff like that. And that will have increased the people's view of the legend. Like, oh, they're actually pretty good in this scenario, and we could beat this very hard content. And now maybe we want to own him for the future, for example. So I'm just a bit sad that it's not really part of the game anymore. So I guess I'll wrap it up a bit. All in all, it's disappointing news for me. Like, I want more content like Arena, like Grand Voyage. Like, I made it my personal agenda, basically, to any chance I get, I push for, I want 1 arena per month, 1 Grand Voyage per month. Like, if I get that, I'm satisfied. I also think we should get new forests from time to time. I'm totally fine with getting new Garb challenges, as long as they add new ones and not just rerun the same ones every month. But yeah, let me know what you think about the future of OPTC, if you think the new mode will be any good. And overall expectations. I will say personally that starting with the GC set challenge has been very fun. It's fun to work towards a goal with other people. And I've already built a backlog. If you follow me, you know that I love my backlogs. Sometimes I want a break from the game, but I still want to upload every day. So I have a lot of videos saved for those times. And I have like 10 videos with GC set saved up. And there will be like two uploaded per week. So look forward to that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.